What's up? It's Jan back at it again with another nerdy bookish video. Welcome to my April 2022 new releases that I'm excited for video. Okay, clearly I'm still getting the hang of this situation because I just started making these videos last month. Also still getting the hang of this new hair. I don't know if I like the side swoop like the usual Jan does or the middle part that my hairstylist decided for me. But anyway, just like last month, it's not just a specific genre. It's gonna be a mixed bag because y'all know I like to read a little bit of everything. Not me eating my lipstick. We're just gonna get right on into it. I have 12 books I want to talk about. I don't have the synopses memorized whatsoever, so we're gonna use Goodreads as my little lovely assistant. The first set of books are gonna be released on April 5th. So the first book I want to talk about is called Hotel Magnifique or Hotel Magnifique. It's a YA fantasy for fans of The Night Circus and Caraval. I haven't read either, but this just sounds like such a fun time. It's also thick. It's 400 pages. Did I already say it comes out April 5th? Yeah, there we go. From what I know, just off the top of my head, it's about this hotel that disappears and reappears in a different location every day, and then there's like some fantastical magical shit that goes down. So it follows 17-year-old Janie. As y'all know, maybe, possibly, I love anything set in France. I love anything French related. The language is just gorgeous to me. I took French in high school, been to France. I just love their culture. The language, it's everything. So that's the main reason I'm excited for this book. The cover is gorgeous too. All her life, Janie has dreamed of elsewhere, just barely scraping by with her job at a tannery. What's a tannery? Does anyone know? I don't want to look that up. I'm too lazy. She was resigned to a dreary life in the port town of Dirk, caring for her younger sister Zosa. That is until the Hotel Magnifique comes to town. Whimsical enchantments, ability to travel, appearing in a different destination every morning. The two sisters can't afford the cost of a guest stay. They can interview to join the staff and are soon whisked away on the greatest adventure of their lives. Quickly discovers their contracts are unbreakable and that beneath the marvelous the marvelous glamour, their hotel is hiding dangerous secrets. With the vexingly handsome doorman, Belle, as her only ally, she embarks on a mission to unravel the mystery of the magic at the heart of the hotel and free Zosa and the other staff from the cruelty of the ruthless maître d'hôtel. Maître? Yikes, I don't know. Maître d'hôtel. To succeed, she'll have to risk everything she loves, but failure would mean a fate far worse than never returning home. So I feel like this is one of those like transportive books and very atmospheric. It's one of those where the sister tries to save the sister, and so I'm assuming there are going to be some decisions to be made. That is like one of my favorite tropes. So another one that comes out April 5th called Time is a Mother by Ocean Vuong. I've read On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. When was it? I think it was last year. I read it for my reading books that made Noelle Gallagher cry video. I really enjoyed the writing. I think I gave it 3 stars though, just because I wasn't really in the mood. I don't think I was aware that it was an epistolary format, and I'm not too big of a fan of that, you know, like a whole book written in letters. Sometimes it works out, but that time I think I was reading too many sad books at once and I just wasn't in the mood. This one is a collection of poems by Ocean Vuong. I am just so stoked to read poems by him because his writing is already gorgeous as it is, and like in poetry format, I feel like that would pop off, you know? Ocean Vuong searches for life among the aftershocks of his mother's death, embodying the paradox of sitting within grief while being determined to survive beyond it. I'm hoping to get a lot of feels from this book, a lot of notable quotes. I don't know if I'll purchase it because I don't really buy poetry collections, but I'll definitely try to get it from my local library to support. I'll definitely keep track of lines that I love because I'm sure there will be many. Next book that comes out on April 5th, I don't remember the author's name, but it's called Very Bad People. Okay, it's by Kit Frick. Kind of striking because of the red and blue and the grayscale background. Oh, I said 416 pages. Wow, okay. So what got me here is that it's dark academia, and then it's also a thriller. It's young adult, which I have been slowly but surely straying away from, but ideally I'd still like to read books in that genre, in that age range. Also, the main character's name is Calliope. I love the name Calliope ever since I read the 1000th Floor series. 6 years ago, Calliope Boland's mother drove the family van into a lake with her 3 daughters inside. The girls escaped, but their mother drowned, and the truth behind the accident remains a mystery Calliope is determined to solve. Now 16, she transfers to Tipton Academy. Oh, not London Tipton. The same elite boarding school her mother once attended. Tipton promises a peek into the past and a host of new opportunities, including a coveted invitation to join Haunt and Rail Rail, an exclusive secret society that looms over campus like a legend. Calliope accepts, stepping into the exhilarating world of the Ghosts, a society of revolutionaries fighting for social justice. Oh, so it's giving Ninth House vibes. I just started Ninth House literally today as I'm filming this video. So wow, okay, coinkydink, love to see it. Now she must question what lengths the society might go to in order to see a victory, and if the secret behind her mother's death could be buried here at Tipton. Okay, there's a possible link between Haunted Rail, which is a secret society, and her mother's deadly crash. Okay, the way I like put these on my most anticipated, oh, I never even said my most anticipated, that's the term I was looking for. I kept saying April 2022 releases that I'm excited for. It's most anticipated. Jesus Christ. Okay, now I'm even actually more excited about it, so cool. All right, the next set of books are gonna be released on April 12th. So the next book I want to talk about is The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. I am planning on reading The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary next month. I have yet to read The Switch, but I loved The Flat Share. If you know me, you know I love romances that have like more depth and, you know, substance and like darker undertones. The characters in the romance have like darker pasts, more emotionally driven backgrounds, plot, storyline. I feel like Beth O'Leary is like queen of that, so I'm excited to read The Road Trip. But The No-Show is about these two women who were stood up on Valentine's Day by the same guy. If this weren't written by Beth O'Leary, I definitely would not be interested in this book. The cover is giving The Two Lives of Lydia Bird, is it not? Maybe I'm hallucinating, but then I looked into it though, and I really like books with a lot of characters that have unique careers, lifestyles, things like that, you know? Shohan is a quick-tempered life coach with way too much on her plate. Miranda is a tree surgeon, which like, what? Used to being treated as just one of the guys on the job. And then Jane is a soft-spoken volunteer for the local charity shop with zero sense of self-worth. So like, relatable. I'm assuming this is gonna have the same, like, not themes, but like qualities that The Flat Share had. So yeah, I mean, it could be cute. We'll see how I feel once I finish The Road Trip. I do want to read The Switch, but I feel like no one can do the switching lives trope as well as Freaky Friday and The Parent Trap. So like anything else that's trying to do that, I'm just like, I don't really want it, you know? I might give it a try. I will try to give this one a try as well. Another book that comes out April 12th is called Woman Eating. It's a literary vampire novel, and this is by Claire Coda. It's also a thriller. A biracial, half-human, half-vampire must find a way to balance her mixed heritage, her bottomless hunger, and her life in this stunning debut novel from a writer to watch. Lydia's hungry. She's always wanted to try Japanese food. Her body doesn't work like those of other people. The only thing she can digest is blood. And it turns out that sourcing fresh pig's blood in London, where she is living far away from her vampire mother for the first time, is much more difficult. Ben, a boyish, goofy-grinned artist she is developing feelings for. Okay, there's a little bit of romance in there. She paints. Love when art is a big part of books. I don't know why. So it's giving A Certain Hunger vibes, which I haven't read yet, but it's on my March TBR, so I will get to it. She said hopefully. But yeah, that just sounds fucking fantastic. Like, this is the type of book that I would wait. Am I stupid? No, I was gonna say that's the type of book that I would definitely purchase because I feel like I would annotate the shit out of it. I feel like it's gonna talk a lot about being a woman and then like defying female stereotypes, things like that. So I'm excited for that one. God, I'm a mess. This one, it's called And Then I Woke Up by Malcolm Devlin. It is a novella, a creepy, layered literary story about false narratives and their ability to divide us. In a world reeling from an unusual plague, monsters lurk in the streets while terrified survivors arm themselves and roam the countryside in packs. Or perhaps something very different is happening. When a disease affects how reality is perceived, it's hard to be certain of anything. Tell me this was written during a pandemic without telling me. Spence is one of the cured living at the Ironside Rehab Facility. Haunted by guilt, he refuses to face the changed world until a new inmate challenges him to help her find her old crew. But if he can't tell the truth from lies, how will he know if he has earned the redemption he dreams of? So yeah, it's a cheeky little 176 pages, and the cover is just, it's giving things have gotten worse since we last spoke, which I gave 5 stars. Thanks to Sarah for letting me borrow her copy. I love the cover, so hopefully it lives up to the beauty of the cover. The next book that comes out on April 12th is Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough. I first heard about this book from Sarah's Shelves, but this is the same author of Behind Her Eyes, which I actually DNF'd, but then I asked Sarah to spoil it for me, and she made it sound really interesting, and I wish I didn't DNF it, but like, it just was not happening. So we'll give this one a shot eventually. I don't think I've ever read a book about insomnia or with characters that suffer from insomnia. So this should be interesting. It's about a woman named Emma. When she was 5 years old, Emma and her older sister went into foster care because of a horrific incident with her mother. Her sister can remember a time when their mother was loving and normal, but Emma can only remember her as one thing, a monster. And that monster emerged right around their mother's 40th birthday, the same age Emma's approaching now. So childhood trauma, then she's unable to sleep. So one of the first symptoms her mother showed. Ooh, yep, I forgot. Sorry, I've read the synopsis several times. I always forget. I kind of dig how creepy the cover is and the color scheme they chose for it. So hopefully I get through it. So that's a thriller if it wasn't clear. And it seems like it's a psychological thriller, which I love. It's my favorite subgenre of thrillers. So there's that. All right, the next one comes out on a Thursday, which is weird. I don't know, usually it's Tuesdays, right? And it's called Blood to Poison. And I love the cover because there's a wolf on it. And y'all know, y'all might not know. I always say that. I always just assume y'all know things about me. Wait, is that even a wolf? That's a fox. Bruh. I'm fucking screaming! Okay, well that's awkward. I still like the cover though. Yeah, that's not a wolf. But wolves are my favorite animal. Wolves, and I like the aesthetic of snakes, and like obviously bats are my thing too. So anyway, 17-year-old Savannah is cursed. It's a sinister family heirloom passed down through the bloodline for hundreds of years. The family call them Hela's girls, named for their ancestor Hela, the enslaved woman with whom it all began. Hela's girls are always angry, especially in the months before they die. The anger is bursting from Savannah at the men who catcall her in the street, at her mother's disingenuous fiance, even at her own loving family. Each fit of rage is bringing her closer to the edge, and now Savannah has to act to save herself. A mesmerizing story about discovering magic, historical rage, and love in all its guises. So when I read this the first time, it gave me Halsey's song Nightmare, the one that talks about like, showing teeth when men ask you to smile and shit like that.
No, I won't smile, but I'll show you my teeth.
That song. That's what it gave me. So I am just predicting that there will be a lot of good lines about, again, feminism and standing up for yourself as a woman. It's about anger, right? So like not succumbing to the stigma of like girls who are angry are just bitches, and like women aren't allowed to be angry. They always have to be submissive and soft-spoken and whatever else. I'm assuming that's what it's gonna talk about. Like that's the overarching message of the story, but we'll see. And then there's like a sprinkle of magic, so love to see it. But yeah, that comes out April 14th. Did I say that already? No, I think I just said it comes out on Thursday, but that Thursday is April 14th. The next set of books comes out on April 19th. One of those books is called I Am the Ghost in Your House by Maria Ramasco Moore. I first heard about this book from Molly, from Mind of Molly, because they actually asked me to co-host their book club with them with this book, and I didn't realize it was 432 pages, but okay. But it looks interesting. Like I love the cover. I love how creepy it is and like trippy. I know it's about like this invisible ghost that like haunts this house, and I was just like immediately sold. But here, let's dive in, shall we? A wildly unique story about an invisible girl struggling to see herself in a world obsessed with appearances. I'm assuming it has a lot of good discussions about how you see yourself versus how the world perceives you. So this should be interesting. Pi is the ghost in your house. She's not dead, she's invisible. The way she looks changes depending on what is behind her. A girl of glass, a girl who's a window. If she stands in front of floral wallpaper, she is full of roses. Okay, chameleon. It's always been Pi and her mother, just the two of them traveling across America. And now at 17, her mother's given her a gift, the choice of the next city they will go to. Pi knows exactly where she wants to go to, Pittsburgh, where she fell in love with a girl. It's Sapphic! Wow, okay, love that. A magnificent story of love and friendship and learning to see yourself. A brilliant reflection on the importance of how much more there is to our world than what meets the eye. I'm so excited for this one. I'm definitely gonna purchase this book for Molly's book club and for the vibes. Like, I am here for it. I hope it lives up. That's probably the one I'm most excited for out of all of these, I'm not even gonna lie. And then we have, oh, I have this book. Where is it? My friend Isabella from the Feminist Bookworm on Instagram gave me an arc of The Drowning Summer by Christine Lynn Herman. I haven't read this yet, but I have read The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman. I did DNF the second book in that duology, and I do want to read her book with Amanda Foody, All of Us Villains, but it was on my March TBR, but I think I'm gonna skip it for now. I don't know. It is on my 22 books to read this year, so eventually I will get to it this year, but anyway. The The Drowning Summer. I think this is sapphic. So it says a gorgeously atmospheric contemporary fantasy. Oh, I didn't realize it was fantasy. Okay. I thought it was a YA thriller. 6 years ago, 3 Long Island teenagers were murdered, their drowned bodies discovered with sand dollars placed over their eyes. The mystery of the drowning summer was never solved, but as far as the town's concerned, Evelyn Mackenzie's father did it. His charges were dropped only because Evelyn summoned a ghost to clear his name. She swore never to call a spirit again. She lied. For generations, the family of Mina Zanetti, a former friend of Evelyn, has worked as mediums, using the ocean's power to guide the dead to their final resting place. But as sea levels rise, the ghosts grow more dangerous and Mina has been shut out of the family business. When Evelyn performs another summoning that goes horribly wrong, the two girls must navigate their growing attraction to each other while solving the mystery of who is really behind the drowning summer. I'm intrigued now. Y'all think I know these books and I'm just like, wow, this is a surprise to me. This book is on this list. What? 2 more books in this chaotic ass video. Okay, hold on. I have another arc from Isabella. She gave me Some Mistakes Were Made. This comes out on April 26th. She said this gave her a lot of You've Reached Sam vibes. She said it was very emotional. She said it was super quick to read. I did read the first couple pages and I think she's right. Ellis and Easton have been inseparable since childhood, but when a rash decision throws Ellis's life and her relationship with Easton into chaos, she's forced to move halfway across the country, far from everything she's ever known. Ellis and Easton haven't spoken in a year. Maybe it's better that way. Maybe eventually the Easton-shaped hole in her heart will heal. Tell me it's YA without telling me it's YA. When Easton's mom invites her home for a visit, Ellis finds herself tangled up in a web of heartache, betrayal, and anger she left behind, and with the boy she never stopped loving. So it's giving second chance romance. It's giving lots of heartbreak. Maybe possible tears will shed. So yeah, I will eventually get to this. Maybe it's gonna be one of those that I just like randomly pick up, you know? All right, the very last book I want to talk about is The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon. I hate saying her last name. I always feel like I'm not saying it correctly. I haven't read a book by her yet. I own 3 of her books though, so maybe I'll do like an author spotlight moment. But The Children on the Hill is inspired by Frankenstein, which brilliantly explores the eerie mysteries of childhood and the evils perpetrated by the monsters among us. Children and singing creep me out the most in scary books, so this seems like it'll actually creep me out. It looks like there are dual timelines, 1978 and 2019. In 1978, the brilliant psychiatrist Dr. Helen Hildreth is acclaimed for her compassionate work with the mentally ill. Okay, mental health rep. When she's home with her cherished grandchildren, V and Eric, she's just Gran. And one day, Gran brings home a child to stay with the family, Iris, silent, hollow-eyed, skittish, and feral. Why did I say that weirdly? Oh my god. Okay, moving on. Does not behave like a normal girl. Still, Violet is thrilled to have a new playmate. She and Eric invite Eris to join their monster club, where they catalog all kinds of monsters and dream up ways to defeat them. Aw, cute. 2019. Lizzie Shelley, the host of the popular podcast. There's a podcast element. Some of y'all, a lot of y'all have that as a buzzword. So Monsters Among Us is what it's called. Traveling to Vermont. Ugh, I don't know why I love books set in like Vermont, Connecticut, like those states that no one really talks about, you know? A young girl has been abducted and a monster sighting has a town in an uproar. She determined to hunt it down because Lizzie knows better than anyone that monsters are real. One of them is her very own sister. That sounds so intriguing. Like, I would buy this book. I do love that cover too. It's like almost basic thriller cover, but it's also like eerie enough to the point where I want it on my shelves, you know what I mean? That is all. So let me know if you're adding any of these to your TBRs and which books you're most excited for in April. If you made it to the end of this video, let's put the wave emoji in the comments down below to represent the drowning summer. You know, waves, because water. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for watching. Hope y'all had a great day. Stay safe and stay positive always, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye!